Hello beings. So I'm super excited because I'm officially making the video that I've been trying to do for Lord knows how long, and I feel like this is the right time. So I'm gonna cover three things, which is when I got lupus and how my lupus journey has been throughout this whole time, how I've managed to find ways to heal myself, and how I will continue to heal myself after falling back down a couple times and deciding to really stick with my work. So I hope you guys enjoy. So let's start by going back to when I was 13 years old. That's when it all started. I just remember being in a point in my life where a lot of things was going on. So I just turned 13. I just had my menstrual cycle for the first time. The father at the time that I had, which wasn't my father, it was my stepfather, had just gone to jail, and I was transitioning to a new school, to middle school. It was just a mess. So, and then plus my mom on top of me, which is she's Cuban. No offense to any Cubans out there. I'm obviously Cuban. But her way of discipline has been very rough throughout my whole life because that's the way she was raised, and she didn't know any better, which is okay. But I guess my body, my chemicals reaction towards my body couldn't handle all that stress. So I remember going to the beach one day and getting sunburned. And then the sunburn wouldn't leave. It would just it was like staying there, and it was getting like scabby kind of, and it was weird. And then I started feeling so down. Like I had no energy to even get out of bed at all. Like I was just fatigued all the time. And I would tell my mom, and I feel bad. And then I remember my joints started hurting a little bit. And that's when she was like, okay, let's go to the doctor. We went like literally a couple of times and nothing would come up. He would just give me an ointment to put on my skin, and that was it. Till, we kept trying to go back, and out of nowhere it came out in the lab results that I, had lupus. Mind you, there's no lab result that says you have lupus. It's just you have certain symptoms that qualify under that realm of autoimmune disease when they just diagnosed me with lupus. At the time, my mom didn't speak English, so she was just like, oh my God, obviously this doctor is telling me my daughter has lupus. This is a huge deal. Like, that's it. And me at the time, I was like super oblivious, and I was like, okay, I guess I have lupus. Like, I don't know. And soon enough, we went to the hospital, and they started injecting me with like really, really hard medication through my veins. Literally, if not chemotherapy type medicine. That's when my whole body started changing. Literally, like my hair started getting super dark. My skin was flaky and dry and was super pale. They started giving me steroids, which is to your body to not react and attack itself. And my face will blow up, and I will be like literally like a balloon. A moon face is what they call it. And I was just so self-conscious. I was understanding what the hell was going on in my life. Like out of nowhere, my whole life just went, They couldn't really tell me reasons why. They were just like, your body is attacking itself. And that's what they have the doctors here lupus under. It's just an autoimmune disease, just like many other like MS, Lyme's. You just fall under a category pretty much that your body is attacking itself. Right. The thing is, so that happened. I'm in the hospital for I don't know how long, 2-3 weeks, getting this medication pumped in my body. They started telling me I have lupus nephritis. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that there's different type of lupus. Everyone is not the same. I'm sorry, I'm super runny nose. So there's different types of lupus. Not everyone's the same. So what I was diagnosed with is lupus nephritis. And lupus nephritis is when the lupus attacks the kidneys. Okay, so there's different type of lupus that it can manifest and it can attack a certain organ in your body, or it could be the one on your skin. That's like the majority of people that have lupus are the ones that it's on the skin, and you can see like really pink red rashes around the face, and it does like a butterfly form. That's what the logo or the lupus theme is, like a little butterfly. It's butterfly rash. That's what they call it. And well, for me, it was more severe, which is it affected my organ and one of the most vital organs we have, which is the kidney. And I had no idea that what a kidney was and what it did. So what they did right away was do a biopsy of my kidney, which is like literally sticking a 15-inch needle to my kidney and getting a piece of it, like a tissue, and then analyzing it, checking it, how severe I was attacked or whatever. And there's like up to 5 stages, and I had like stage 4 of it. So obviously they're like, okay, there's no cure for it. Here you go, take 7 pills a day for the rest of your life. And I remember I was just couldn't believe it. And obviously my family was super on top of me, to take my medication, to, do things right. And I hated medication, to still do. Then I went into, I had the whole year of 7th grade, like just going through my changes. People would tell me like, why is your face so freaking big? And I'll just try to give them excuses. I would hide my disease for the life of me. I did not want anyone to start judging me because I knew that no one would understand. Like at that age, people are like, kids are mean, dude. And then I would get bullied a lot even before I had lupus. So I was just trying to keep it to myself as much as I can. Obviously, my closest best friend would know. So then rush forward to high school. I actually start focusing on dancing, and like I started dating, and I was just in a different atmosphere that has nothing to do with what I was going through. And I was like getting like, just distracted. And slowly I started like not taking my medications because I felt so good. I was doing weight training and I was like super healthy and like I had so much energy. And then I started not taking my medication behind my mom's back. And little do you know, I stopped them completely. And I would go to the doctors and everything would be super normal. And like they would be like, okay, you're good. And for 4 years of my life in high school, I was not taking any medication at all. And that's because, like I said, it's all based on your emotions. At least for me. And what I've noticed and when I've spoken to other people that have lupus, it really is triggered by your emotions. And it's crazy how much effect you can have, stress factors to your body. And so that happened. I literally thought I didn't have lupus anymore. I'm like, okay, obviously I healed myself. Like, I don't have lupus. And then I graduated high school and I started dating. Had like the most serious relationship I had. And that was a really shaky relationship for me. That was when I first got my first heartbreak, and it was like a toxic kind of relationship. It was a back and forth, like ego, attachment. And then again, I started realizing that I was feeling bad, and all these symptoms started coming up again in different forms. And it's because I was emotionally stressed. And little do you know, lupus came back around and it attacked me even harder. And every time the lupus will come back, my kidneys will deteriorate more and more and more. The function will literally go from like 100% to 80 to 70 to 50 to a point that I was, I had a life and death experience. And that's when one day I was just super stressed out, like, the worst time. And my blood pressure was so high that I literally stopped breathing. Like, I remember I was just pale and I was like feeling like I couldn't take a deep breath. I kept telling my mom something's wrong. I can't breathe properly. She called an ambulance. They took forever to come, at least in my perception. I was out in the porch just waiting for them, like literally looking out in the sun, just waiting for like air. And I couldn't. And when they finally arrived, they were like pushing this oxygen bag in me. And I was not taking anything in until I literally just saw myself lift off my body. Like, I saw my body. And I remember going, like, I was like floating up and seeing the whole scene that was going on. And I was laughing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, ah. And then that's it. And then 2-3 days later, I wake up in the hospital and like I forgot about everything. And then when they were like, dude, you need dialysis right now or you're not going to be able to survive like this. And I was like super like, what? No. What's dialysis? Like, are you crazy? And like, that's like the worst thing that anyone could go through, honestly. And I tried so much to not do it. But honestly, I looked like a balloon. Like, after that happened to me, like, my legs were like elephant legs. Like, I was just a walking water balloon, literally, because my body was filled with liquid because my kidneys couldn't filter it out. Yeah. So obviously I was like, no, I need to try everything, and I need to, heal myself. And point is that I got on dialysis, and the first I have like a scar, 2 scars actually. They put a tube there, a catheter is called, and then you start going to a clinic 3 times a week for 3 hours, sitting there like a zombie, and your blood comes out into a filter, artificial filter. It goes back into your body, and you're cleansed, and that's what a kidney does for you. But since my kidneys weren't strong enough, that's what they'd had to do. Once I was seeing myself in that situation, mind you, I was the only young person there. Everyone around me were literally like 80 and over. I couldn't believe my reality. I was like, what is going on? And from there, once you're on dialysis, the next step is transplant. I mean, you don't just come off dialysis. That doesn't really exist. Unless, no, I haven't even seen that happen or spoken to anyone, and doctors tell me that's kind of impossible. So I was taking it as a challenge. I'm like, impossible? I don't think so. So that's when I started going really in. I eliminated everything around me that was negative and was bringing me down, meaning the relationship with that person, my friends, any friends that were like not benefiting me, family members that were stressing me, anything in my surrounding that I was not healing or good for me, I completely cut off. And then that's when I started going deep within myself. I did extensive research. I'm talking about things that I don't even know how I even got to that area on Google. It's crazy. And started like just buying and getting so many books, and just all I did was just read and read and read about healing and other people that have healed. I was fascinated by the Eastern side of medicine, like the Asians and the Shaolin temple and the monks, and how they've healed themselves and through the mind, and I love that. And I remember doing everything that I could in my power to reverse what just happened to me, and I succeeded. I literally stopped eating like shit, like I was milk and all that stuff. I was eating, I think I was on a vegan diet at the time, or either vegetarian. And I was 21 years old when that happened, when I first got on dialysis. And I remember telling my doctor, I'm gonna come off, and they're like, yeah, sure, slowly we'll see your progress and stuff. And no one had trusted me except my mom. She was my number one supporter, knew that I could come off of this. So like I said, I was reading a lot, informing myself all the time. I would literally be in the hospital, let's say getting medicine through my vein, and I will be listening to solfeggios, which is a high frequency music, and it's healing for the body since we're made up 70% of water. I will do literally everything, and honestly, the power of our mind is everything. So what I decided to do was just train my mind to believe and know that we can create our reality, and that I was healing, and that pretty much I was already healed. And just saying thank you every day, even if I didn't see it physically already, feeling it, that it was already there. Slowly and surely, that's what happened. A month passed by, and my creatinine level, which creatinine is what tells you how high your creatinine levels in your kidneys, and tells you how your function. So let's say the normal range is from 0.1 to a 1, and I was at a 5, and that's when you need dialysis. When you reach a 5 and 6, you need dialysis. And I started weaning off, and I started getting smaller and smaller, and I reached 3, and that's when they're like, look, instead of coming 3 times a week now, you come 2 times a week, and then from 2 to 1 times a week, and then once a month I was going, and then I'm like, I don't need this. And little do you know, I came off again. I came off. Then that was cool. I went a whole year of, being healthy again. And the thing is with me is that, I'm only human, and I was just having that experience. But I was feeling fantastic again. I was grateful that I was out of dialysis. I was eating everything I wanted to again, because I love food. And I went back into this relationship. Like I said, it was toxic. I couldn't really come off of it. And once again, it happened. I got emotionally stressed, and this time even harder than before. And then I had another near life death experience. I was just same thing. One day just at home, literally couldn't have the energy to get up from my seat. Thank God I had a friend there with me. She was just hanging out, and then I was literally like, call the ambulance right now. There's something definitely wrong with me. And surely enough, I couldn't get up. They had to come in and carry me out. I had no energy. I was in that ambulance heading to Mount Sinai and here in Miami. I go to the hospital, and as soon as I got into the emergency room, I was holding on to dear life. I don't know what happened, that I was just holding on and yelling like to someone, please do something about this and give me something so I can feel okay, because I felt like the moment I was gonna let go, I was done. I was gone. And my friend felt it. She knew that I was pretty much, my time was up. My mom, everybody knew that was pretty much the day that I was gonna leave this plane. And among all that chaos, literally I had everyone around me. Like, they forgot about every other patient, and everybody was just all me focused. They were trying to give me medicine through my vein, and it's just I was so dehydrated. They couldn't find the vein, and they kept trying, and then they finally punctured me around here and to get like an ABG, which is like an oxygen in your blood. There was like literally 5 nurses in one arm. Once they saw that something happened, once they came in through here, my whole arm turned black. They disappeared. It became super big and like purple. And then another doctor came out of nowhere, and he's like, we need to open you up immediately or you're gonna lose your arm. And it's called compartment syndrome, by the way, guys. I missed one point apart. That whole feeling that felt like I was dying, which I was, the moment that this happened to the arm, the moment that this situation happened that they had to cut me open, that whole feeling of dying left. I don't know what it was. You know, I'm a very spiritual person, so to me, I don't even question it anymore. It just had to be that way. But it was very curious how that just played out the way it did. Like, literally, I had no strength to hold on any longer. And once that happened, it just lifted off. And then little do you know, I was in the operating room, and I wake up, and then I had this arm literally completely open because they couldn't stitch it up right away. And I was in the hospital for a whole month with it open. They would come up every day, and then they would like order something that looked like literally like shoelace on my arm, so I could come up and like tighten it every day to get it closer and closer to be able to stitch it in the end. The most excruciating pain in the world. They had to give me Dialysis, which is like the strongest pain medication they have, like every 2 hours, and they had to increase doses and everything, and I was just like for a whole month, just unbearable pain. So that time they took advantage and they opened up my fistula. This is actually an artery and a vein together. Everybody has this inside. Obviously, they put it superficially so they can access it better to dialysis. So mind you, that's why I had this. If you have a catheter, you can't shower properly. You can't go in the ocean. It gets infected. Imagine it's a tube. It's fake. So they did this. They waited until it matured and whatever it is, and then they used it, and then I started getting dialysis. And I was on dialysis again, guys, again. And I saw myself in that situation again. And it was really sad. And that time I had like less hope in myself because it was harder. It was like, damn, I got punctured hard as hell the first time. Now I'm going to redo it, and it's going to be even harder to come out. And it was true. It was harder to come out. I lasted 3 months in dialysis. But I redid everything again that I had to do, which is self-healing. Firstly, in the mind. Second, in what I eat. And anything that does not influence me to become better, I had to eliminate. I moved out of my mom's house, went to my grandma's house. Just had to stay in a peaceful state of mind all the time to grow and heal. And it took a while, but I did it again, guys. I was on dialysis, came off dialysis again, and to this day, it's been already 2 years or 3 years, I believe, that I've been off dialysis. Once I was off dialysis, I started getting better, eating right, becoming more active, and I started doing things again. And then, little by little, I started eating everything I liked again, and it's okay. To this day, like I said, I've been healthy. I'm not on dialysis. That's very important. But I'm not my prime. I still have symptoms to this day that I'm feeling that I know it's wrong. I wake up super bloated, in my stomach area. I have no energy sometimes at all to do absolutely nothing. And so it's been a crazy ass journey for me. I've literally had to summarize this whole thing quickly for you guys, but you can imagine most of my life has been trial and error, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here right now to explain to you guys, the ability that we have, guys, that we have such an amazing power in our minds and in our aura and in our beings, that if we really want something, we can definitely achieve it. And if you don't have health, you truly do not have anything. Like, people take for granted so much their health and their organs. I have so many people that I know and friends that all they do is drink and do drugs, and I just look at them like, wow, you really don't love your organs, your kidneys. Well, if you don't love them, give it to me. I'm obviously kidding, but no, there's no better feeling than knowing that you're alive and that you can live it up the way that you're supposed to be, sober. I barely honestly drink. I shouldn't drink. When I do, it's just, just cause. I'm high of life, to know that I'm alive. Gotten another, not one, but twice a chance to be here. And I don't think it's by accident that I'm still here. So I just want to really inspire others to, whatever it is that they're struggling with, you have the ability to become better and overcome it. You really can. We've been lied to for so long by these doctors here, and they don't have any cure to shit. They probably do, but they're not gonna give it to us, and we are the ones in charge of this. We are the ones creating our reality. So in other videos that I will do in the future, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I've done and what I've taken to drink, and modalities that I've used, like healing natural modalities like acupuncture, tai chi, these things that has helped tremendously in my life, because I believe in them and because they absolutely work, and I am a proof of that. Just with medication that the doctors give you is not enough. If anything, I want to come off of these things, and I have not off of it because my body now literally, it needs it. I got to a point that I've been taking it for so long that it's just my body needs it. I take blood pressure medicine now, because my blood pressure is extremely elevated, extremely. And like I said, I almost died because of it. So slowly and surely, I know that going vegan, mostly raw, that'd be amazing, will reverse any symptoms that I have, feeling like my bloatness, high blood pressure, rejuvenating my kidneys, which is totally possible, guys. Don't let doctors ever tell you that it's not. With any disease. I believe that you can heal any disease, guys. Any disease. You have to be extremely focused and know that you can heal, and believe it, and say thank you to the universe about it. So yes, guys, this has been 20 minutes already, and a quick little summary about my life and how I've dealt with it, and how I'm gonna continue to deal with it and grow, and hopefully you guys tag along to see the progress. And I'm gonna just be completely myself with you guys. If I do mess up in something, I'm gonna show it. I am human still. I am not even close to whatever perfect should be, and And it's just a beautiful ride, and I'm just riding it, and I'm here to just share my experience. You know, let's just do this together, guys. I know that we are criticized and judged so much, but I do believe that there's really good people out there, and with a lot of information that we all need. Thank you, guys. See you next time.